Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Shabazz here. So in today's video, we are going to perform normality data of analysis in R. So we will check the normality of the data using two methods. One is the Shapiro-Wilk test and the second one is Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. So normality testing helps us determine whether the distribution of a variable is normal or not. So this is very important because many parametric statistical techniques such as the t-test, ANOVA, correlation and regression analysis assume that the relevant data or model residuals are normally distributed. So in both tests, the null hypothesis states that the data follow a normal distribution if the p-value is higher than 0.05. So if do not reject the null hypothesis and the data can be considered normal. However, if the p-value is less than or equal to 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis, which shows that the data is not normal. So in this video, I will demonstrate how to perform the Shapiro-Wilk test in R, how to perform the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test in R, interpret the test statistics and p-values, and we will learn in the end how to save and export the normality results in Excel format from R. So remember that statistical tests can become highly sensitive with large samples. Therefore, normality should ideally be evaluated alongside with histograms, QQ plots, skewness and kurtosis. However, in this video, we are going to test the normality of the data using two methods, Shapiro-Wilk and the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. However, you can see my next video on histogram, QQ plots, skewness and kurtosis to check the normality of the data. So please watch the video until the end. If you find it helpful, like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notification for upcoming videos on R data analysis. So we have imported our data in R. As you can see, we imported data from SPSS format. So our data is here. So you can see here we have one demographic variable gender and other measurement scale, and 4 items of green employee involvement, 4 items of green compensation and reward. So our data are in observed indicators. So we need to check the normality of the data in R. So I give the instructions to ChatGPT. I have a data set naming data C and data on the following variables and scales. So I want to check normality in R using Shapiro-Wilk and Kolmogorov-Smirnov methods. So give 3 coding set. First for Shapiro-Wilk, second for Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and then last for save results and create Excel document for download. So I give the variables so that ChatGPT can create the coding for all type of test and the exporting Excel data from the R. So first coding ChatGPT made for us. It is required preparation. Compute the scale scores. ChatGPT give us the prompt to calculate the mean. As you can see my previous video how to compute the variables. So you can see in our data set, because the variables are in survey items, so we need to calculate the mean of each variable set. So in this way, the ChatGPT first give us the coding to create the mean. I mean how to compute the variable. So first we will copy the prompt for computing the variables. So we will copy and paste the prompt here and then click enter. So in this way, R successfully computed the variables into overall variable set. You can see green employee involvement, green compensation and reward, green performance and management, green training and development, green relation support, ethical leadership, psychological green climate, and green creativity. So all variables are computed and took the mean. So now we have a complete and overall variable. So we can check the normality of data by using two methods in R. So Now our data is ready for further analysis, and then ChatGPT give us second prompt for Shapiro-Wilk normality test. We will copy the prompt and then put in console and then press enter. So you can check the result of Shapiro-Wilk result. So you can see here green employee involvement. The Wilk value is 0.874205 and the p value is less than 0.05. So we read this value because there are 14, so it means there is 14 0 after the point. So we will write in this way, like if I open ChatGPT, so we can, the value is, I just want to understand, we have value this one, so we will write it in original format like 0 point. So there is 14 in the end, so we will put the 14 0, 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 and 14, and then we will put 3 2 and 4 onward. So it means the p value is less than 0.05. So in this way we can say that we reject the null hypothesis because the data is not normal. So you can see in all cases the p value is less than 0.05. So we reject the null hypothesis and the data is not normal in case of Shapiro-Wilk results. So now we check the normality by using Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. So we have another prompt for Smirnov normality test. We copy the prompt and paste here. So we also get the results for Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. So you can also see that the value of p are lower than 0.05. So in this case the data is also not normal here. So both tests prove that the data is not normal because the p value is less than 0.05. So in this way we can reject the null hypothesis that because the data is departure from the normal distribution. Okay, so now in the end, as we told you before, we will save the file and put into a separate Excel file and where we can interpret and see the result easily. So first of all, to save the file we need the right Excel package. So I have already installed it. You can see packages, right Excel. So I have already, if you don't have, then you need to install from here. So you can put right Excel and then click on install, so you can easily install the package to save the file and download in Excel. So I have already, so we don't need to put the command there. Okay, so what we need to do, create one Excel file containing both dataset results. So we'll copy the prompt and then paste in R and then press enter. So R successfully made a separate Excel file for both results. So you can find in the same directory. You will go to the same data file and you can check the results here, normality test results. So here are the results of both tests. So in this way we perform the normality of data using Shapiro-Wilk and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test in R. So if you find my video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you can get my next video. Thank you.